Hi, today we're going to start off with another layout. We picked out some paper. I wanted to kind of not overtake this picture. There's a lot of color going on. It's like right in the front when you walk into Disneyland. They took a picture right there. So I pulled our stickers. You know, you can cut the top off if you want to use that. I pulled our word strip stickers as well. I pulled some of our older Halloween stickers because I think they might go. I pulled some of our newest ephemera. You know, the packaging you could use as well when you're done with it. And then I pulled the puffy star stickers and another pack of our Halloween ephemera from a little bit ago, a couple weeks ago. I think it would go too. So I pulled all these things. I also pulled our stamps. I have my tools out, my tweezers, my fastener, my adhesive. And then, like I said, I pulled some ink. That's the Paper Person ink. And I pulled the Stephanie Bernard one as well. Two different oranges. I was going to kind of see which one went better. So we're going to get started. Probably going to start with the stamping. Didn't know if I wanted to do a background or not, stamp it, but I'm just going to go for it. Now I'm going to test and see which ink I'm going to use. So I kind of set it up so I can kind of do a little tester. Because the two inks, though they look similar, they're really different. I've used, I think I've swatched them before. But I'm going to swatch them again just to kind of double check and see. So this one's the Stephanie Bernard Stamps of Life ink. Oops. I'm going to hit that one more time. And it's a good solid orange for Halloween. It's a really good one. So kind of know what that looks like. I'm going to try the Kelly Perky Paper Person one. Now they're both premium dye ink. And that one is really dark. So kind of not the look I'm going for. So I'm going to choose the Stephanie Bernard one. It's just, even though it seems lighter, it's just more brighter to me. The premium dye, the Kelly Perky one, just looked blotchy. So, and like I said, it was too dark. So we're going to go ahead and stamp the background of this paper. Now I said I didn't want a busy paper because there's a lot going on in the picture. But I did want it to reflect the pumpkins, because what we're doing, you know how they tell you to pose a certain way and put your hand out or whatever, and then they superimpose something on it. So we all put our hand out in front, and then they put a pumpkin on it. So we're like holding a giant Mickey pumpkin. So I thought it'd be kind of cute to then replicate those pumpkins on the paper. Now what I'm doing a second generation stamping. I am inking it up. I'm stamping it on the paper because that's the brightest, darkest one. And then I'm stamping it on the actual layout paper because it's like a more muted one. I was doing this because it was my intention to then go with the stripes and stamp over it. And using the same ink, you can get you can get a bunch of different colors actually by doing the second generation or third generation stamping. And all that means is, you know, if you ink it up, you go from ink to your paper directly, it's going to be the brightest. If you ink it up, go to a scratch paper first and then to your paper second, it's going to be, you know, a shade lighter and so on. So I'm currently doing the second generation stamping right now. I am stamping it on the scratch paper, and then I'm going to my layout paper and doing it just because I don't want it, like I said, terribly bright. And I had the intention of going over it with the stripes to make it more look like the, you know, the exact Mickey pumpkin. And I'm just so not good with stamp pads. I wish I have something kind of, it's been in the works forever to eliminate just kind of what I'm doing right now with the ink. I can't share it all with you yet, but I will one day, and I hope it will revolutionize inks because I kind of hate having to do that, what I'm doing right now, going to the block or picking it up or what have you. But anyhow, story for another time. I'm going to finish the background paper. It looks great. Now, this is, like I'm telling you, the second generation. So if I did it straight from the ink pad to the paper, it would have been a lot brighter. And I think it kind of would have been a little bit more busier. And like I said, I didn't want that. I didn't want to take away from the picture. The pictures had a lot of colors going on. We all looked Halloween-y, but it still had a lot going on. So now the trick, remember to just stamping a background paper is to go off the edges to make it look a little bit more intentional and not so planned out. Now I come back with the striped one, I believe, at some point, and I tested out. I always test things out. Like I know where I'm going to put my picture. So if I kind of screw up, I'm going to put a picture over that area anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I always do like a little tester if I have to test something out in that area. So I did that. I'm going to stamp it. Now this is going, what I'm telling you about, going directly from the ink pad ink to the paper. And it's going to be brighter. Now, even though, note how it's the same ink, but you're getting almost two different colors because of the first, second generation stamp. I didn't like it. Wasn't crazy about it. Didn't want to put in the extra work. So I didn't want to put in the extra work because it didn't look good. So we're just going to move on from that. Now here, I'm just going to start trying to choose what I want. I mean, I have all these great stuff in front of me. It shouldn't be that hard. Considering all this stuff is really, really cute. Even how, you know, anything I use, it's going to turn out great. Now, this picture was horizontal. So my traveler's notebook, of course, is vertical. But I just, you know, every once in a while, I don't want to shrink the picture down. I'll just leave it the same size I always use. And I'll just turn the layout, the orientation of the layout around. It's, you know, I love it. You can do it. There's no rule saying you can't do it. I've done it before a million times. So just do it. Now, I'm searching for something to put in back in here, back of the picture, because I want it to kind of pop a little bit, but nothing I'm pulling kind of catches my eye. I'm considering, you know, stamping my own little background tag again, just to put it behind there, but, you know, the wheels are turning. I'm thinking, trying to figure this out. Now, I pull some of my extra little stash I have. I have, like, little boxes of extras. This is like printables that I printed or what have you. And I just kind of stick them in these little plastic boxes. I pulled that out to see if there was like a tag or a nameplate or something like that that I could use that I have hidden away. And nothing really stood out. I'm searching because I know I have some like just labels. But I've kind of used them because that's kind of my go-to as well. It's just, you know, a label. It's my style. It fits it. You know, I could ink up a stamp and stamp on the label as well. And it just kind of helps separate the back of the picture from the paper. Not really finding everything. I'm trying to look in the Disney stuff I have too, and nothing's really standing out that I need. So that goes away. Now I pull the chipboard box I have because I'm thinking maybe we need some, you know, dimension. I do find my printables from Julie Makes Things. And I know she has labels, but I think I used them all because she makes some great ones. I pull out this. It kind of reminds me of Jack Skellington. But then I think twice because I think I want to use it on the Nightmare Before Christmas ride that I have that I'm going to be working on too. So I put that one back. Plus I don't want to bring too much black into this one. Yeah, I put that one aside because I'm like, no, I'm going to use that. That's going to work out really good for my other pictures of the Haunted Mansion while it's Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. So I'm still looking because I know I have some labels from Julie, but again, I haven't taken inventory of my things in a while, so I know I probably use them. And like I said, you guys are seeing these videos in real time. I kind of just pull out what would coordinate with it, but I am literally designing things in the moment. And this is how my brain works. Sometimes when I'm in a little rut, I'm like, get a label. It's going to work. It's going to be great. I'll love it. It's not too showy, so it's not going to stand out too much. I'm flipping through the chipboard things I have because I'm thinking maybe a little dimension might be great too. And sometimes Studio Calico has some great ones in their kits, just like plain ones. But lately a lot of them have had writing on them or sentiments. I tend to like just the patterned ones because I could always use just the patterns with the colors, but once it has a sentiment on it, I can't really use it. It's limited. So I see like that green little flag. So I'm thinking maybe I'll use that. I'm going to go ahead and staple the picture down though, because I know it's going to go there for sure, but I don't want to use adhesive because I might want to slide something under it. So I staple it up top. I try to clean up as I go because I'm not a messy scrapper at all. Everything has to go back in its place or else. That's just how my brain works too. So still stuck, still stuck. But once I kind of just make a decision on what to do, it just kind of flows from there. I'm kind of looking through the word strips. Word strips are my other saving grace. I love them. And I try to just put some things down. The Boo to You is really cute. It has a bat that has little Mickey ears on it, and then it just says Boo to You. So I thought that might be cute. And there's one in black and there's one in purple. But again, I was telling you, we were trying to just keep the colors, you know, to what we were wearing, which we were all kind of wearing black and orange. Found a little label. So I think I'm going to go with the label. Like I'm telling you, that's just my go-to. When in doubt, if I have a label right there, a little label tag, a little label sticker, what have you, it's just, I'm probably going to, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to use it. So, and it had an image on it right there, but it didn't bother me because I knew it was going to go kind of under the picture a bit. But like I said, when things have things printed on it, it's hard because I'm kind of limited. But usually I'm going to put something over it so it doesn't really bother me too much. I go in and I adhere that down because now I'm like, okay, this is where it's going. I slip something underneath that. I'm going to put this little title, Boo to You, over it. I got some adhesive in like a little space, so I wanted to clean it out. And that's on there. Now I'm thinking, okay, I'm ready for something big in that corner right there, that right-hand side of the paper. And I'm looking through it, and I see something, and I'm hoping it works. So I'm going to look for the bouquet of balloons. And it actually works. It worked out good. I was either going to cut it out with my balloon die that I have on my own, but this one actually worked really good. It has some of the pumpkins and it has some of the bats, so it was perfect. And you can't tell, but in the picture, I'm wearing orange Mickey bat ears for Halloween, so that's why I'm kind of incorporating the bats too. I'm just not pulling them out of, you know, the sky. I'm wearing something with bats on it, so it all kind of coordinates. I'm going to look at these word strips because I think, you know, I have a little space over there. Just trying to see what's going to go, what's going to match, what's going to flow, what color I'm going to use. I'm taking it way too seriously. I probably should have just pulled one and put it down, but I'm thinking. And I believe I just pulled the one that says like Halloween on it. Yeah, and then I see one catches my eye. And I put that one back. And I pull the other one. So I'm going to put that sticker down up on, where am I putting it? I'm going to put it on the bottom. And so that makes that little cluster right there pretty much done on the bottom right there. So that looks good. I'm going to add just some dimension with my puffy stickers. Remember, like I said, and if you've been watching my previous videos, I try to use something completely till it's done so then I could just throw that paper away and be done with it. So I have these last little bits from the stars and stuff, so I'm trying to utilize those so I could toss that paper. But it's a win-win because they match really, really good too. They're from a Halloween kit last year from Paper Person. And it's probably one of the items I wish I would have bought two of, because I really I did use those stars a lot on Halloween things. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put them around just to add some pops of color and some dimension. And then you know what I'm going to do next. It has pretty much everything except the date. So I'm going to make sure the date is right on here. I'm going to get my ink and I'm going to stamp up the date. It's a good example of like first and second generation, because with the date stamp, I always stamp it until the ink fades, almost completely out, and it just gives it like a really neat ombre effect. And I really like that. It's like my thing. So I kind of wanted to use up that space right there, inked it up, and I'm calling it done, I think. Do you want a closer look? Oh, nope, not done. Gotta use a pumpkin somewhere. And I gotta clean up as I go. But here's a closer look. Hope you enjoyed it.